Welcome to episode 44 of the AA Travel Talk Show, a podcast of the Canada Marketing Group and ehCanadaTravel.com. As you can see, we have a flag there, and here comes Junior. He's joining the show. The A Travel Talk Show is broadcast live every Tuesday, 7 p.m. from our base camp somewheres here in Maple Leaf, Canada. Our guest tonight, and I'm pretty excited about this, and I think Junior there, he's with me too on this announcement. Our guest tonight is Mr. Wes David, the host, the producer, and angler extraordinaire of the Fishing the Wild West TV show, and he is going to wow us with some fishing tales. Not spelled Tails call, it's Tales. Yeah, there it is. I passed grade
Yeah.
3. We're good to go. So Fishing the Wild West TV show is a television series. Let me tell you a little bit about this thing. It's focusing on informing, explaining, and teaching viewers
Yes.
localized information about fishing that is helpful to anglers regardless of their experience. So it's not like other shows where, you're supposed to know what you're doing. This one is, hey, let's help everyone, teach them about their backyard and some fishing stuff, and show us how to do it and where to do it and why we should be doing it.
That's all
Right?
good stuff. I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, you watch most shows and it's just watching them catch fish.
Yep.
It's great to get the background information so we can go out and test his theories out and see if they work.
And you know what? This Wes David dude, he's actually got a personality too, eh?
Oh, I seem like a great guy.
Yeah, he's
I'm
he's a great guy. He's a good
it's
guy
really
to
an honor
talk
to
to.
have him on a show.
I know. It's not a dry thing. It's a good thing, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
Wes is going to be joining us in about 10 minutes. In the meantime, in between time, my name is Greg Gerard. I am your co-bro host of A
Go,
Travel
bro.
Talk Show and co-bro founder of ehCanadaTravel.com and ambassador of Bruises for our blog called Two Brothers, 2 Feet, 2 Curious, 2 Canadian. And recently, if you and all of you who are regular viewers know, ehCanadaTravel.com was voted the best nationwide adventure travel company by Lux Life Tourism Awards as of January
Yes.
this year. Yeah. Kudos. And our blog was just ranked number 23 of the top 1,000 travel bloggers by Global Rise 2020. So next door to me is the wonderful and beautiful co-bro host.
On the other side, the next door.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
that
the
side.
other co-bros, the A Travel Talk Show, co-owner of ehCanadaTravel.com, the keeper of the code, the head tech, and
Yep,
run the back show of the operation.
yep,
Proud to be here. Glad
yep,
to have all you people, lovely Canadians and
yep.
worldwide guests, join us
You know it.
for
And
this great fishing show.
let's get this show all up on the road. Let's get
Hey,
our thousands of viewers all excited and let them go today, tomorrow, and as we post this on all our other mediums. We
did
are
you
also
say
known.
ambassador of bruises?
Ah,
I like it.
you like it?
That's it. Yeah. I get the first thing. I get visual
Yeah.
pictures of
I,
all those. You got the legs to show it. I mean,
I know. My legs look like a whole bunch. It looks like a crisscross puzzle or something. I mean, it's unreal. All the branch, the branch cuts, they leave that white line. I
mhm.
got like,
I've seen plenty,
I
plenty
know.
of hikes
And
coming
the
back
thing
with.
is it doesn't tan anymore. So you're walking around with all these white stripes and
Yeah,
everything else is tanned around it, right?
yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Not a lot of good hikes that don't come back with some sort of
Nope.
memory bruise injury.
Bumps, bruises, sign are badges of honor. So we are also known as the Brothers of Tourism. I love the name that you guys have given us. We're homegrown Canadian adventure geese, collectors of bumps and bruises, and boots on the ground research tourism. This is a live show. We are live.
Uh,
Stuff happens.
all
Sometimes
the
video
time.
cuts out, sometimes audio ain't up to snuff. Well, we're just going to ask you to deal with it. We're welcoming you to live broadcasting Canada style, and this is our stick. So if things happen, stay tuned. We will be right back, guaranteed. Tomorrow, you will find this iconic video about fishing the Wild West with Wes David on our website's live travel community feed, on our award-winning ehCanadaTravel.com website. Then we're going to blast this message out on Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Tumblr, and LinkedIn, as well as Facebook. And we will be showing it off on some Reddit streams as well, because
Yeah.
that is what we do. So grab your maple syrup and your poutine, pull up nice and close to this computer screen because you're going to want to see this show. Wes David of the Fishing the Wild West TV show is going to talk with us some fishing in Western Canada. So it is only fitting, Colin, that we bring up a little background on fishing because this is what we do. We need to know our different industry sectors, right?
Is the West Davis, I think, I mean, this is no small fish here.
No. This
Get
is
it?
the you are good, man. Yeah. You're good. You're sharp. You're sharp.
Oh, thanks.
You're sharp.
He's no minnow.
Oh my God. Look, we're losing viewers. Stop it. The pain. Right? Oh, that's hilarious. In 2015, Fisheries and Oceans Canada survey on recreational fishing tells us this. This is huge. 3.2 million adult anglers actively participated in a variety of recreational fishing activities in Canada. 3.2 million.
Wow.
Right? Well, here's the cool, not so cool, maybe cool, I don't know. Wes will straighten us out. Almost half of Canadian anglers, 42%, were in the age of 45-64 age group. That might be an issue. We want to get those younger generations in. We want to get families involved. We want to keep it going.
It's a family affair, yes.
Yeah. But here's the
you
cool
learn
thing.
so much as a kid from fishing.
Yeah.
Like that's some of the best memories I had. Dad were out fishing.
Yep.
Not that we ever caught anything much, but.
Yep. And you still don't.
Yeah, out casting as far as I've been told. Yeah.
So the number of average days, these fishing dudes, the number of average days per year they fish is 15 days. Here's the cool thing. This is why we're so big on fishing tourism, because like our guest, Wes David, we have a big passion for small and rural communities. We built programs for them. We have a really good program right now called Experience Community Forum. But here's the stick. The average angler spent $262 to cover transportation and travel costs and $233 on food and lodging experiences during a fishing trip. Now, let's just figure the numbers out. You bring in quite a few fishermen. That's a big dump of money in your community, funding your stores, checking out your accommodations, and then going back, and this is what we like, then they go back and you're their best marketing possible, walking, talking billboards, right?
Oh, and they cook up the fish, they feed some relatives, told them where they caught it, told them about the place, told them about the experience. I mean, it just goes on and on. And you can't, I mean, what better COVID type vacation? I mean, seriously, you get out there.
I've been on a few of these fishing trips with you, and your catch to fish ratio is pretty bad.
Oh, it's been a lot better lately.
Oh, you must be using Lucky Bug lures.
Hold
on. Commercial plug. Hold on. Lucky Bug lures. There you go. Woo.
Those are, yeah.
Right. Hey, here's a big thing, Carl. 7.9 billion is dumped into local economies in Canadian provinces and territories by the recreational fishing industry. Let me just say that again, because that's worth repeating.
And I wasn't really listening.
Oh. You do that. $7.9 billion is dumped into our Canadian provinces and territories in local economies throughout Canada.
Wow.
7.9 billion.
Wow.
Okay. So
I was going to point out these flies are from Trent. Good friend of ours.
Yep.
And they're awesome.
Yep. He did it himself, right?
Oh, yeah. They're handmade.
Oh, original.
And there's some of the nice ones I've seen. Like even Wes would probably be impressed.
Would he? Well, I don't know. Wes has a real high bar, man. He's famous.
Yeah. Oh.
Well,
I didn't. I guess he
you know what? Sure. I'm gonna get him to sign my chest when he's down here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm sure he'll be into that.
Yeah. Just teasing, Wes. I don't want to scare him away. Okay. There's this guy, right? He goes, AK best. And I really like this quote. He goes, the fishing was good. It was the catching that was bad. So that's why I wanted to bring that up and a little dig on yourself there. But the nice thing is our guest here, Wes David, is going to help us get better because he's the guy that teaches and shares all the stuff on how to be a mini Wes David.
Mini Wes David.
Right? Yeah.
Plus, it's
Okay.
not about catching the fish.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's a
How come
bonus.
all the fishermen who don't catch fish tell me
Well,
that?
yeah, we got to stick to our story. It's not about catching the fish. The fish is a bonus to the adventure.
Yeah, okay.
We got
Okay.
we got to support ourselves. Like, watch out, because
Uh,
me and Wes will be 2 against 1.
well, but I'm running
Being
the controls.
non-fishermen.
I'm running the controls. It could be just me talking about you and Wes. There you go. So be nice, man. Okay, tonight we're talking with Mr. Wes David, who's the host, producer, angler extraordinaire of the Fishing the Wild West TV show. Let me tell you a little bit about this guy. Impressive. I love his story. I hope he shares it. The popular fishing show started airing in December 2016 on Wild TV, the World Fishing Network, and then 12 local cable channels across Western Canada and Northern US. So boom, instant, right?
Yeah,
30
impressive.
million viewers this show receives. Very impressive. And again, thank you, Wes David, for showing off our landscapes and our small communities. Wes was also, and I don't know if a lot of people knew this, because we have such a large scale research department, Wes has also sat 3 terms on the board of directors of the Outdoor Writers of Canada as the Western director, which is cool because Wes pens many articles for magazines covering topics. And here's some of the topics: wildlife, fisheries, fishing gear, outdoor youth participation. So that's cool because there's a gap there, right? So he's a big part of growing this industry from the youth up, and nature conservation. So those are pretty cool. Conservation, youth, those are pretty cool things, right?
It's not just about his good looks.
No. Hey, here's something you don't know.
Maybe.
Not to mention Wes here. He is an ex-cowboy and bull rider. So our special guest, Mr. Wes David of the Fishing Wild West TV show, went from bucking bulls to hooking bull trout in a blink of an eye. How do you like that?
Oh, yeah,
that was good, right?
Way to go. Way to go. It's one for Craig.
Thanks a lot, man. Thanks. I'm pretty proud. So anyways, let's all put our virtual hands together. Let's fist pump and let's bring it together and give Mr. Wes David of the Wild West Fishing TV show a big, joyous maple leaf welcome as he comes on and joins us in our banter and Canadianisms. Welcome to the show, Mr. Wes David.
Thank you, Greg and Colin. I don't know if I can live up to that intro.
Do your best, buddy.
Okay, well, I'm a fisherman. I'll make stuff up.
There you go. You've been listening to the pre-show, haven't you? Yeah. So, Wes, we gave a little bit of background there for our viewers. So, maybe if you could fill in some of the gaps and share with our audience a little bit about who is Wes David and a background to the Fishing the Wild West TV show.
Well, I've been referred to as a guy who just took fishing too far. But honestly, I grew up on a cattle ranch in central Alberta. My mom and dad rodeoed. My uncles were Roy and Ron David, who were professional chuck wagon drivers and competed everywhere from Cheyenne to Calgary Stampede. So rodeo was in my blood. Against my mom's wishes, I started riding steers as a little guy and then graduated into bull riding. And just found a sport. It was my sport. I got to do lots of traveling. I got to see the world. I got beat up quite a bit rodeoing, but it taught me a lot about life. When rodeoing was over, before my career was over, I was smart enough to know that it was coming to an end, and I got a job as an apprentice heavy-duty mechanic. So I became a heavy-duty mechanic. I eventually got my Red Seal ticket and went off to work, but there was always something missing. And I thought it was, the thrill of competition. And it was a little bit, but it was actually the camaraderie of rodeo. Cowboys are an incredibly close family. You could be in California or Grand Prairie, Alberta, and you just fit in. Everybody makes sure you fit in. So, and I always loved fishing. So I started tournament fishing, walleye, professional. Well, I started amateur walleye tournament fishing and then graduated into professional. And I found that same camaraderie with in tournament angling. They might, fellow competitors might not give you their hot spot, but if you're in, you're having troubles, they would point you in the right direction and help you out. And it was a real pleasure to kind of be a part of that again. And at the same time, I was writing for outdoor magazines, and they kind of grew together. After about 2-3 years of that, Mike Mitchell from BC Outdoors, he approached me and asked if I'd be interested in doing a show. And that was the launch of Fish in the Wild West TV. So now we're going into our 6th year. And I'm very flattered. I couldn't be more happy with the support, and I have an amazing office.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Nice.
We can relate to that. So Wes, prior to COVID, you spent, and I love how you put this, you spent 125 or so days on the water each year prior to COVID, fishing, videoing, participating, photo shoots, researching information for magazines, conservation in your show. You must be going through some serious fishing withdrawals, buddy.
Well, COVID didn't slow us down any. We had a few travel restrictions.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of outreach from the networks, Sportsman Channel Canada, World Fishing Network, to encouraging us to get our episodes done. Fish in the Wild West is doing very well on the network scene. Excellent. But what was more flattering and appreciated was the viewer support. Social media messages, emails, texts from close friends that, just encouraging us with all the struggles that were going on within the world, is to get it done, to get our episodes in, because there was no sports on TV either. So people were wanting to watch sports. It was a unique surprise at how important, I guess, sports are to people. It's an incredible pastime.
Fishing is one of the things you can do during this time. It's one of the only things you can do.
And fishing hit an all-time high, hunting and fishing, because kids couldn't go into their sporting events. Many schools were shut down, so hunting and fishing got in the limelight again of its importance of getting outdoors. And so many parents message us and said, they went to local stock trout ponds or just on the shoreline of a river. And holy cow, they had a conversation with their teenage son or daughter again.
Yeah, there you go.
And what better way to relieve some stress as well?
Oh, I mean, doctors are prescribing go fishing for mental health.
Yeah.
And another thing on the hunting side of it, with the meat shortage in July or August, became really important. Well, hunters aren't killers. They're, they harvest their animals, and all the hunters in my circle had a freezer full of meat.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing too, I think people forget about fishing and hunting is there's all the domino effect of being outdoors. You got wildlife sightings, you got beautiful scenery, you've got fresh air, you see the seasons change. I mean, it's limitless. And then a lot of times you can combine fishing with another activity, canoeing, kayaking, boating.
Oh, 100%. And there's so much. One of the greatest things I enjoy about fishing or just being outdoors is the smells.
Yeah.
Yes.
The smell of being outdoors in the trees, and even a fresh cut lawn after it rained all night.
Yes.
Man, there's nothing better that's a simple pleasure in life.
It is.
West Coast cedar.
There you go.
Yeah. Rain.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah. So what makes so we touched a little bit on it. How big is the fishing industry in Western Canada? Like, what are we looking at here?
Huge. Western Canada as a whole has in my opinion, the best freshwater and saltwater fishery in the world.
Woo!
Yeah, it's. I mean, you look at. We have thousands and thousands of lakes, thousands and thousands of kilometers of rivers and streams, and they all have fish in them. And and I've made lots of American friends over the years. We have incredible support from our American viewers, and they all, on their bucket list, or we have many that come up here every year, and it's there just as much as we want to go south in the winter. They want to come to Canada in the summer, and one is for the fishing, or it may be the hunting, or just the scenery in general. And hats off to Canadians. The biggest compliment that I hear from everybody is just, the pleasantries, the please and thank yous, the hold the door, just the little things like that. I guess, we almost take it for granted, but it's extremely important.
Huge. Hey, I people always, if you read mimes and all that shit, hey man, I'm proud to be from a please, sorry, thank you nation. I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, 100%. Still, respect mom and dad, and hold the door for a complete stranger. And you're right, please and thank you. I've gotten more and had more success by being polite than I have by being a jerk.
I'm on that. So what? Okay, so that's sort of giving it a little bit. What makes Western Canada freshwater lakes and rivers? What makes them unique to the rest of Canada?
There's just so many of them. We have a wide variety of species across, just talking the prairie provinces, because we don't go into Ontario a whole bunch. The province of Ontario has a bunch of its own shows. We've gone into Lake of the Woods as far east as we've gone, but from there right into Port Hardy, British Columbia. There's a wide variety of species. There's access to, if you don't have a boat, you've got a river to go fish, or a stream, or a stock trout pond. So much is given back conservation into all of Canada to go fishing and to have that opportunity to go fishing. And then within those waters, within the depths of those waters, we have the next potential world record of all those species that are swimming within those waters. And again, as we touched on it, just there's so many times I've been up north casting for a northern pike of a lifetime, and a caribou swimming across the river. Or at a stock trout pond, and there's mule deer on the other side. Just little experiences that I guess people that spend time in the outdoors kind of take for granted. And if there's been a positive to COVID, it's more kids and more parents and guardians have taken their kids out to experience that. And even if 10%, 20% carry that on, it's a big help to future generations in the outdoors.
Yeah. So now if the outdoor, if this is what makes Western Canada unique, then what makes the Fishing the Wild West TV show with Wes David different from other fishing shows? What I know, Colin knows you, but our viewers, I think they should know what makes you stand out.
Thank you.
Besides your good looks, besides your good looks, I mean, we know that.
Well, yeah, I'm a very sexy man.
I love it. I love it.
I'll make sure you bring your Sharpie.
Yeah.
I don't know. Thank you for the compliment. When I designed Fishing the Wild West TV, I polled, I don't even know how many thousands of people, and I don't even know if I was polling them or realized that I was polling them. I just wanted to know what they wanted in a show when I was ready to commit. And basically the two biggest questions that come back was no more bass. Eastern Canada and our American anglers have bass dialed in. And the second thing was they wanted to know what was in their backyard. And I think I wanted to know as well. So we started again just in the prairie provinces. Drive to lakes. We do 13 episodes. 10 of them are drive to lakes. Wherever I go, whatever I do, the everyday angler can do. We reveal the secrets. What we're doing. We don't always have to show the biggest fish. We'll show the realities of fishing. And the reality is you're not going to catch the 40-inch northern pike or the 10-pound walleye or the 20-pound lake trout every time. And we show that. We try to, the show is not about West David. It's about why West David or why Fishing Wild West goes to Merritt, BC, or wherever we go. Is we go there because of these reasons, because of these water bodies, and we try to educate. Our goal from day one and still to this day is just to help the everyday angler catch one more fish.
Yep.
And
learn.
Greg,
What's that?
It's not about how big a fish your brother catches.
How about if my brother doesn't catch? What happens then?
Then you need my editor. He's an incredible editor.
Yeah. So the nice thing too is and I love the humbleness, because there's share with us that I know this is something that you're very passionate about, Wes, is the conservation efforts of how we can tie in the fishing, the hunting, and even the adventure tourism, which is our wheelhouse, and how the conservation efforts are very important to maintain our industry, for one, and a lot of us believe that, and two, to also educate. So maybe you can share with us a little bit about your love for that area.
One, first thing I want to say to all your viewers, all our viewers, whoever's listening, there is no better conservation-minded people out there than hunters, anglers, farmers, and ranchers, bar none.
Yes.
It's not even open for discussion. I can't tell you how many times I've seen, and this doesn't make it to the media or to the news, how many times farmers and ranchers, hunters and anglers, and what they do to give back. For example, the winter of 2009, 2010 in southern Alberta, when the snowstorms piled up and mule deer and antelope went into the coulees and the snow covered them over and buried them. It was farmers and ranchers that were in there digging them out and putting out round hay bales so that they had food to eat, because the snow was so thick, then crusted over, and they couldn't break through the snow to eat.
Yeah.
And farmers and ranchers put out thousands and thousands of dollars of bales out of their own pockets to make sure those animals could eat.
Yeah.
I hadn't even heard about that.
No, and those are stories you don't hear about. In my circle, hunting, I love hunting. I eat venison tonight for supper.
What? Oh, yeah. We ate KD. Eat that. How's that?
Yeah. So much for being humble.
So much for that humble. Well, we got pretty damn good editors here too, Call.
Yeah. There you go. But they go out and hunt and harvest, and they eat what they harvest, what they kill it. There's no way around hunting. There's no catch and release. They kill it, but they eat it. Yeah. It's not wasted. It's not trophy. I don't know where this trophy hunting come from. I guarantee you, though, I mean, if a spike whitetail buck walks out and a mature big whitetail buck comes out, the mature buck's getting it.
Yeah.
That's how it is. And I'm not a killer, but let the young buck live.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The catch and release programs and a wide variety of other programs that fall within the catch and release was all designed by anglers.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
The Fraser River Sturgeon Conservation Society is all the guides on that river system. Mm-hmm. They're not forced to be part of the tagging program. They want to be part of the tagging program. Rick Hansen got involved there, and all the guides want to give back. They want the knowledge of these prehistoric white sturgeon. And that's just one example there. It goes right across Canada, right across North America. So hats off to farmers, ranchers, hunters, and anglers.
and ehCanada Travel Brothers.
Yes, exactly.
I just thought I'd manually edit that in.
Yeah. But they have the passion for
I would have properly put that in if I had a hat, but I didn't.
Well, hey, well, there you go. Hey, Wes, you're getting one now. The one thing that Colin and I know, we talked a little bit about this in the green room while we were munching on poutine and beaver tails, is that the economic contributions of recreational fishing are felt in all parts of Canada. You know that. We know that. Colin and I know that due to our research, but especially in remote areas and small towns. This fishing industry in a lot of these small areas is the lifeline for that community. It is absolutely crucial. So according to you, we've talked about the average spend 334 per fishing, and this is just BC. Non-resident anglers spend $334 per fishing day when they're in BC, and that's according to GoFishBC.com. So can you please share with us how important the fishing industry can be and should be to small and rural Canada as part of their tourism structure?
To smaller rural Canada, like you said, it's in many cases, it's a lifeline. In all of Canada, it's probably equally as important. When we go into a town, just us, we're buying hotel rooms. We're eating in the restaurants. If we're doing a remote trip, we're at the local grocery store, getting gas, everything. Mm-hmm. Just a lot of people don't realize that when it comes to hunting and fishing, they think hunting and fishing, but it's all the small businesses that we stop and visit along the way. Mm-hmm. Someone that I met years ago made a really good comparison. As important as the oil sands are to all of Canada and the livelihood of the oil sands, that's what hunting and fishing also is. It's just not talked about. Mm-hmm. It's so important. Even fishing licenses. I don't know exactly. I have like 7 or 8 fishing licenses, and I don't know what each of them cost.
Yeah.
But over 50% of each of that fishing license goes back into conservation. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've been in many small towns, Saskatchewan, and drove 25 minutes out of the way to fuel up at a little town that the prairie just opened up, and there was a town of maybe a couple hundred people and a gas station. Mm-hmm. And as you know, with COVID, there's never been such an importance put on small business.
Yes.
It would be, the short of it is, it would be crippling if hunting and fishing was taken away from a province or from Canada and from the world.
Mm-hmm. So if you were a town that is wanting to build a freshwater fishing sector as revenue income for that town, what advice would you give that town to get started? And that will lead into my next show, because the part of the answer is going to be bring Wes David into your town in the show. So tell us why should a small town bring Fishing the Wild West TV show to their region to share wonderful experiences like fishing? So it's sort of a two-edged sword there, if you could answer that.
One, you'll never meet better people than small town people. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you want to leave, if you need help getting pulled out of the ditch or want to talk grain and cattle prices, go to a small town. There's going to be a conversation in every way. 2, yes, bring Fishing the Wild West TV in. I guess Fishing the Wild West TV would help because there's not only the national network, we're on the World Fishing Network, so we're around the world. Mm-hmm. Very fortunate, very flattered. We're on Sportsman Channel Canada, and a variety of cable. But I also write for a wide variety of magazines. Hook Magazine, which really dedicates their magazine to Western Canada. BC Outdoors. I write for a bunch of magazines, and we believe that if you invest $1 in me, you should get $3 in return.
Nice.
That's my goal is if you ask me back next year, or I want it to be a no-brainer for you to ask me back next year because I worked my tail off for you this year.
Yeah. No, I like that. I
The
definitely
300%
like that.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So okay, so we sort of, it may be a little bit more. So if I'm a small town, and without revealing, of course, the economics of it, but I'm a small town, and say, for instance, I got 50 gorgeous lakes here, but we don't have a fishing industry. We don't have an ice fishing industry. Is Fishing the Wild West TV show can really help put a spotlight on that vacancy, right?
100%. And I love your campaign. Fish a lake a day for as long as you can stay.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do my damnedest to do that.
Yeah. That's good.
You'd be surprised. Maybe the people in your area might take that for granted, how many lakes you have, but a lot of areas don't have that. Some areas, people have to drive an hour and a half to get to their first fishable water body.
Yeah.
I could cast a line from the Best Western in your town and catch a fish.
Yeah. You're pretty damn close there, especially with.
It's incredible. Like, just it's often, regardless of what it is, sometimes when you're surrounded or in the eye of a storm, you don't see the storm, and what you have there is incredible.
Yeah.
You see that in so many local towns like we have anyway, going across the country. It's just, I mean, it's hard being a local not to have some blinders on.
Yeah.
And that was one of our goals when I designed Fishing Wild West TV, is to educate people of what was in our backyards. Well, Merritt's in our backyard. I mean, I'm 7-8 hours from you, but that's literally that's worth the drive.
And a little bit of a cherry on the sundae here, you get to meet the bros.
That's the only reason I would come.
Okay, I'm glad we finally got to that. I mean, it's like pulling teeth.
Yeah, I saw Colin hold up some flies, and I mean, if we went with those flies and a bunch of lucky bug lures, I probably wouldn't come home.
There you go, lucky bug lure. There you go.
You'd be staying in Merritt.
Yeah, we get an incredible amount of support from BC companies like Lucky Bug Lures, Buzz Bomb Tackle, Rock Guard.
Okay.
We've got an incredible support from British Columbia. They're, again, just some of the best people I've ever met.
Yeah. Hey, so not only did we look around on the website and look around what we could find, but I came across this article that came out by Outdoor Canada, and they were featuring some of the big dudes on campus in the fishing scene. And it was called favorite fishing destinations. And they all asked you some of these, the elitists, the fishing extraordinaires of the West Davids of the world. They said, tell us some of your fishing destinations. And the title was, we got 9 of Western Canada's top fishing spots. The title of the article, from TV's Fishing the Wild West. So you had a piece in there with other ones. And it was really sort of cool, because some of the lakes and rivers you were pointing out, Colin and I have actually put a canoe in there, or we walked the edge, or we went and camped nearby. And there was remember Blair Lake, Saskatchewan, the Bow River, of course. I mean, you can't really go anywhere in that province without running into the Bow River. And you got Dead Lake, and then you got Dead Lake, which is Saskatchewan, if you don't know. And then, of course, the Red River, Manitoba. So since then, is there any particular BC destination? Because even though we're all of Canada, we are based in BC. So I'm sort of giving a shout out to our BC watchers and friends. Is there a lake in BC that sort of caught your attention that would make that list if we said it was the 10 of Western Canada's?
Okay, so let me clarify that. When they asked me to do those, they had 2 writers from BC already doing BC lakes. So they told me to focus on the prairie provinces.
I'm just reading the news, man. Come on.
Hey, full disclosure.
You got busted because our research department is top notch.
The bull trout and lake trout in British Columbia, one of my favorite. I mean, your British Columbia is known for the trout species for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But one trip I make out every single year, and anyone who hasn't done it, is sturgeon on the Fraser River.
Okay, that's
one. It has everything. You get to catch prehistoric monsters. My biggest out there was with BC Sport Fishing Group, and it was 8 feet 11 inches.
Wow!
And
but
you also, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, it was huge. Like on camera, even I had him close to the boat, and I thought he was coming in, and he took off. He peeled off probably 100 feet of line, if not more. They know how to use. They know how to use the current like any current fish.
Okay.
And I squealed like a little girl, but I control of the editing, so that didn't make TV.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
Awesome. That is awesome.
But you get to fish for prehistoric monsters.
Yeah.
You get to be a part of the tagging program. You can adopt a sturgeon, and then I caught a sturgeon that was a year earlier. This was several years ago. That was caught by Olin Nolan when he played for the Calgary Flames.
No,
yeah, so you get to, and the research that they've got.
Celebrity sturgeon.
Did he sign it? How'd you know?
Yeah,
yeah, it was on his pectoral fin there.
Oh,
it's like you want me to sign Greg's chest. That's where it was.
Oh, this is great.
That is a trip I make every year, and I highly encourage anybody that wants to do battle with a prehistoric monster and be part of conservation and give back to the community. Look up a guide on the Fraser River and be a part of the Fraser River Sturgeon Conservation Society.
Yeah. And Colin, have you caught a sturgeon? I know Colin's the big fisherman of the family. I don't think you have.
I'm the little fisherman of the family. No, sturgeon would be far beyond a level I've been to.
Another trip we've done 4 trips, what we call trips of a lifetime. So the featured trips with Serengeti Fishing Charters out of Port Hardy. And to do battle with 100, 200-pound halibut in 380 feet of water. I've done a little squealing with that.
Yeah.
Nonstop salmon action. And my favorite, and doesn't get enough credit, is all the colorful rockfish.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they those are one of my favorite. And
it's a beautiful
last year we went out with David.
Taste.
And they taste great.
The taste of it.
We went out with David Summers with Serengeti Fishing Charters, and he told us to bring our walleye gear. Okay. And we were jigging black rockfish out of, I think, 70 feet of water with our walleye gear. And it
was way!
Oh, I could have done that for days.
Yeah, you must have been in
red snapper.
Yeah. The yellow eye and the lingcod, and it's just
yeah.
Melts in your mouth.
No doubt. So let's talk some lake and river fishing here. So there's the trout, walleye, bass, kokanee, char, perch, chub, sturgeon we've touched on, and a whole whack of others. Then there are lures. So some of the fishing lingo is spinner spoons, rapalas, crankbaits, jigs. And then we need to talk some bait and no bait. How'd I do, Call?
Hey, I give you 60%.
Oh, whatever. He
is hard on you.
I know. Like, where's that brotherly support? You were adopted.
No, that was very impressive. That was impressive. You speak fishing very well.
I'm telling you. So the young people, we talked a little bit in the pre-show, and we sort of touched on it during the show. There's a little bit of a gap where, from the main fishing crowd, 42% is 45 and up. So you do a lot of work with young people on introducing them to the sport, to fishing. And if you were just getting into fishing, where would you start by helping this a new generation learn about the industry?
Well, it's funny you ask, Greg. I work with a lot of conservation groups. I speak in a lot of schools, and the topics are a lot of that, how to get started, and especially if parents don't have, a fishing background or even an outdoors background. And one of the biggest things right across Canada is the trout stocking program. So the small rainbow trout ponds, and they're stocked every year, and they're all accessible by foot. They're all free to access. You still need a fishing license, a provincial fishing license, but you can go fishing with some, a bingo bug from Lucky Bug Lures, or a J hook with some power bait on it, and just fish from shore. And it had become so popular. We got asked the question so much that actually last year, airing now, we did a show at a stock trout pond teaching parents and guardians how to take their kids fishing, educating them.
I like that. I like that.
And I'll be honest, I was nervous about, I'm supposed to be this big fisherman catching all these big fish, and we're here at a stock trout pond doing an episode. I'll be honest, I was nervous. Became one of my personal favorites because it was so informative to get the message across and help youth. And then watching it, I can't even tell you how many messages and emails we've answered due to that, and many of them have just been thank you.
Yeah. Again,
just seeing the kids.
I love that word, thank you.
Just seeing the experience of the kids there too. I mean, like you're saying, these are kids that have never been fishing before,
right? And it's it's so many different things. If they're introduced to it, they might be the next host of their own fishing show. They just need the chance to get out and do it. And truthfully, the next generation are the ones going to be talking on your show, in the Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, buying gear, buying the magazines. But more importantly, they're going to be the ones teaching the next generation about catch and release, and the importance of hunting and fishing and farming and ranching. And it's so important. And all it takes is our effort to help educate.
Exactly. I mean, the more mini West Davids, the better, right, Col?
I agree.
I mean,
I agree. I got a company for sale for them.
Yeah.
That's where I first learned my incredible respect for nature and the environment, is going out fishing with the family, getting out there fishing and camping. I mean, so many kids don't get out to do that. Yeah. And if you don't respect the environment, how can you learn to protect it?
And you guys have a farming background.
Yeah.
The chores we did as kids, if you didn't do your chores, things died.
Yep.
And it was
funny, but
no, and it was bad for you. Now, so those lessons have to be taught in different ways. There's not as many farming kids and ranching kids, and you can only learn. I mean, taking out the garbage is only so much. There's that respect of nature, and that teaching that giving back, so that your kids can have it.
If we and we're all about, I mean, our wheelhouse is outdoor adventure tourism, exploration, and discovery. And we would jump on anything where we could start getting our youth more back into it. Like, the thing is what you provide and what we tout, you can't find it on looking down at your phone.
No, and you might be able to read about it in a book, but you have to experience it.
No.
Well, you meet people.
Yeah, you
meet people.
Hey, sorry, you two get along. Come on.
Go ahead. It's your show, man.
This is a live show. None of that.
Yeah, I was just saying, you meet people that are middle-aged, and they've never been hiking, or they've never been in the outdoors. They've never done that, and I mean, that's a shame.
And what's worse, and what scared me a little bit, is 2019, I did a talk at a school for, I think it was grade 8 and 9 or 9 and 10, and talking about wildlife and conservation. And there was 10 or 15 kids in the class when I put up a picture of a gopher, didn't know what it was.
Oh my
Really?
God. That
worries me a little bit.
That worries me a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, losing touch with their environment.
They knew what a rabbit was because they saw that in a book somewhere, but they didn't have a clue what a gopher was. And that was a little bit.
Wow, that's disturbing.
Yeah.
That's
so it's
disturbing.
our jobs, and you know, no fault to the kids. They might not have had an opportunity to get out and go camping or go fishing, or just walk along the shore bank.
Yeah, there's so many factors you don't know behind that backstory of how that came, but the outcome ain't cool by no means. Is that cool?
No, it's scary.
Yeah. So we here at ehCanada Travel and the ehCanada Marketing Group, Tourism Bros, are proud to play a small part in you coming to visit the Nickel Valley in British Columbia, Canada, film an episode to the famous West David Fishing the Wild West TV show on May 24th, and probably leaving if we can keep you and bribe you. And if you have to sign my chest to make you happen to stay here longer, leaving it around some early date, end of May or early June. Of course, the big shout out, we have to give a big shout out because this would not happen without the support and community involvement from the nice people and generous people of Tourism Nickel Valley for bringing us all together. So now that Merritt, British Columbia, Canada is on your radar there, fishing guru dude, and now that you've got a lake a day for as long as you stay embedded in your head, we're on the radar of the West David show now. And that's going to be exciting. But what are you looking forward to on your trip? And what are some of the benefits you're hoping to pull out of it there, big guy?
Well, Greg, Colin, as much as you've researched Fish in the Wild West TV, we've researched you and your community.
Oh! No. Uh-oh. He got to the end of the show. He knew it.
Yeah. And I think aside from some dirt and the lake a day for as long as you stay, which I think whoever come up with that is the coolest. We're gonna make a song out of that or something.
We will, believe me.
Bring your guitar.
Yeah.
Bring your guitar, Wes.
Okay, I'll bring my guitar and some adult beverages.
There you go. You're gonna be real popular.
I think it's the community. Greg, you and I have talked about different things that, you know, hopefully we can line up when we're coming there, and just to be a part of the community and the support that we've already received. Like we're March 1st or 2nd, and we've already received so much community support. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Excellent. Hey, do you know that little ice fishing photo we just launched?
I've seen lots of fishing across your page.
Do you know how we've got 32 pictures for you to look at so far?
Excellent. There's a perfect example of, I mean, I know with the mild winter that we've had, you've had a short ice fishing season.
Yep.
But your community and you just launched it. It's only 2 or 3 weeks old, isn't it?
No, it's not even that. It's 5 days. We just started it.
So look at the support. That's incredible, and that's something to be really proud of.
Yeah, we're so proud of the community and how they've gotten behind this ice fishing sort of push that we're trying to establish, where we could easily have a year-round fishing industry, but we got to get that momentum going, and then we can build the infrastructure around it and start doing different type of things. But I'm very proud of and there's a community of 7,000 that within 5-6 days, 32 photos come in from people ice fishing our lakes here.
Excuse me. And I've seen lots of pictures.
Okay. I know you're choked up about it. It's huge. I know. It's okay, Wes.
I was grabbing for Kleenex off camera. But a lot of those pictures, I've seen kids involved.
Yes. Yeah.
So that is awesome. And like you mentioned earlier in the show, with just the looks on their face when they catch their first fish, when they bring it up, or just the anticipation and the excitement is That's awesome.
And there is, and I don't know if you saw the ones we put up today. We had somebody send one in wearing a clown nose, and with the hole behind, with the fishing hole behind them. There's some, and we've only put out we put out 12 so far, and we've got a whole bunch of collages more coming out, and we got another 2 or 3 today. And then before every weekend, we're reminding everyone, like, go do some ice and send us some photos. And it's really cool. I can't wait to see how it ends up. And you're gonna have a tough job picking. I'm gonna make this tough on you, dude.
We'll pick it live.
We could actually. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Yeah, that's a very good idea. See, I knew we brought him on board. It wasn't his looks call.
I'm full of great ideas. My wife just won't listen to me.
No, there you go. There you go. Wow, yeah. I'm not even going to go there. You're trying to bait me, aren't you?
Colin, I was trying to suck him into
that. Too smart for that one there.
That's it. So before we let you go, Wes David of the Wild West Fishing TV show, could you please tell us where they can see your show, what times they can see it, what's the schedule like coming up, and maybe anything else you want to leave our viewers before, unfortunately, we got to part ways.
In your area, Sportsman Channel Canada.
Okay.
I watch. It's on 4 times a week. It's on year round, so it's Q1 through Q4.
Mm-hmm.
The times, man, you really put me on the spot here. I watch. I have my editor. He sees it steady.
Yeah.
I get final approval. I watch it the first time it airs to make sure everything's in place and the commercials are in place. Then I don't watch it anymore. So it's somewhere.
That's the thing about you, host. You all think we don't ask you any tough questions. We always get a tough one in there. We always got to keep you special guests on your toes.
That's your record to watch Fishing Wild West TV, and when you get home, apparently it'll be there.
Yeah, please watch it. It is very cool. And you can also, and just so you know, viewers, you can also catch clips on YouTube. He also shares, he's got a massive, he does a lot of Instagram out there. Make sure, and if you don't, it's very simple to find. I've done it on all the different formats that Wes and his show is on. Is just search Fishing the Wild West TV show, and bingo, bango, bongo, there it is, and click on it, and then press that follow button. That's all you got to do. It ain't brain science. Just go there, search, click, follow, watch this guy, and what he is bringing to
simple if I'm involved.
There you go. So again, Wes, thank you for coming on the show, and Colin and I are going to do our little thing at the end to bring up some other things that we got going on. And if you want to stick around that green room, there's beverages, as you know, there, and we can join you, or we'll catch you on an email or on social media very soon. And thank you again, sir, for coming on the show. And if there's anything else you want to say, then we're going to have to say goodbye.
I'd just like to say one thing, regardless if you're 10 or you're 100, if you have a goal or dream, chase it. Because if you don't, someone else will.
Spoken by a great man.
Yep. Oh, thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Wes David. We'll stick you back, and hopefully we'll connect us soon. But we're going to do our little thing, and thank you again for coming on our show. It's been a pleasure, an honor, and a privilege. We will continue, and please tag us when you got something good going on so we can do our stick over here, and likewise. And I'm looking forward to the future with getting to know and to work with Wes David of the Wild West Fishing TV show with Wes
Fishing
David.
the Wild West TV.
Fishing the Wild West TV show. I had it right all show, and then I blew it. So Fishing the Wild West TV show. Look at it. Wes David, search. He's got it all over. And the thing is, people, just search it. I mean, he's so popular. He's all over the search engines. You'll find him. So that's a good thing. Okay, Wes.
Thank you very much, Greg and Colin. It was a pleasure to be here.
Excellent. So there, Junior. That was Mr. Wes David of Fishing the Wild West TV show, specialist in angling, freshwater, lakes, and rivers here in Western Canada, and of course, Northwestern USA. He is also part of that. So what do you think, Carl? That was pretty decent, right?
Look at that.
Hold on. There you go. You're on mute for some reason.
Oh yeah. Oh,
See, I wanted West David all to myself, so I just muted you.
maybe you can read lips.
There you go. Well,
No,
yeah,
I
there you
think
go.
that was totally awesome to have him on the show, and I hope he's not scared to come to Merritt now.
Oh yeah, you think we
With
went a
the
little
brothers here,
far?
you might
I
be a
don't
little bit
know.
intimidated.
Wow, I've been working out.
It shows, buddy. It shows.
Where does the stuff come from? I
We'll
don't
have to
know,
figure
man.
out ways to keep him here
It ain't on
longer.
the script. It ain't on the script, so I don't know where that came from. But
We'll work out
anyways.
ways to keep him here longer.
Yeah. So make sure our friend here, West David, Fishing the Wild West TV show, we've been putting up the web address. His email is right on the screen right now if you want to contact him directly. And you could also find his stories, episodes of his show throughout Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. We have been sharing his social media during the show. So again, if you haven't gotten it written down, again, just search Fishing the Wild West TV show and you will find out where he is. So again, we are your co-host of the Travel Talk Show. Greg and Colin Gerard, Brothers of Tourism, co-bro founders of ehCanadaTravel.com and ehCanada Marketing Group. Please follow ehCanada Travel on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube. We will see you next week. Same time, same place, a little different maple syrup at 7 p.m. PST right here on ehCanadaTravel.com, Facebook, and YouTube pages. Peace out, Canada. Be safe. Okay, Junior, dazzle them.
Be safe and be here.
Dazzle them.
Be here next week. You think this week was good? Next week we got, well, if you're a hockey fan, we have Eli Wilson. He's been a 20-year goalie coach, worked with many teams in the NHL, and has taught many of the goalies in the NHL their craft, including my favorite, Carey Price. So next week, be here and see the show.